What it was basically a manipulative, lying woman who was constantly trying to deceive her husband and everybody else around her, wrapped in laughter. Wrapped in laughter, because laughter gets you in the door. And you see how it's coming from many different angles? You have the Marilyn Monroe type that are starting to unlock the sexual bonds between a man and a woman. Then you have things like this that are coming and unlocking just the honesty between everybody. Isn't it, should be no question why we have such a divorce rate today. Because these are the things that everybody grew up on. In fact, today we have shows, we don't even hide the names anymore. Lie to Me. Jim Carrey, Liar, Liar. You know what Jim Carrey's Liar, Liar's movie was all about? Where he actually couldn't lie for a whole day. The whole movie was basically trying to say that given under certain circumstances, you should be able to lie. There is some chance out there, some way that a lie is actually okay. And that's basically what that movie was all about. There is a comic book writer named Alan Moore. He's written quite a few comic books. Watchmen just came out last year and was quite popular. V for Vendetta came out a couple of years ago. He's written some Supermans. He wrote From Hell that Johnny Depp was in. He wrote a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which Sean Connery was in. Alan Moore is a very open, he worships a god called Glykon. And he's very open about it. And it's a little snake god. And this is what he had to say about Glykon.
What's in it for you, though, following Glykon?
I believe that every single individual human being should probably make their own peace with the universe. I mean, we're all of us different emotionally, we're all different physically, intellectually. It would be really odd if we were all the same spiritually. So, I mean, that's why I have a problem with religion, per se, because religion, the very word, it comes from the same root word as ligature and ligament, and it means to be bound together in one belief, which I find a bit creepy and a bit unnatural.
You can't have that conversation with a Christian fundamentalist. Yeah.
The kind of what we call fundamentalism these days is basically entirely based upon 1930s tent show revivalism.
Right.
It goes back no further than about 80 years. And yet it's a very frightening and dangerous mindset because, I mean, as far as I understand it, at the moment, there are genuine worries that, certainly in America, that this could actually negate science,
yeah,
that it could drag us back into a new dark ages.
Yeah.
This is the guy who writes the story that everybody goes and watches. This is the mentality of the guy that's writing the words that are said. And if he's very open about his involvement in spirit worship, what does that say? And let me tell you, I don't know if a lot of people in here have gone and seen his movies, but I've spoken in enough Adventist schools and enough Adventist churches where I have asked the question, who here has seen one of his movies, and 3/4 of the room will raise their hand. So let me tell you, this does not mean that, oh, you know, we're not going and watching these movies. There's a lot of our brothers and sisters that are listening to this guy's thoughts, that Christianity is a dangerous mindset. Here's what he says. I decided I was going to become a magician. All of a sudden, a lightning bolt hit. It all got a bit strange, and for months after that, I was looking back, probably in some sort of borderline schizophrenic state. I found myself seemingly in conversation with an entity, his presence that surrounded my head, moving and speaking lucidly to me. I was very spaced out, God-struck. You babble for a while like an idiot, and I must have been unbearable for 2 or 3 months. I've now integrated that into the rest of my life. So that's how he started involving himself in spirit worship. And this man is one of the #1 biggest comic book writers out there. And he's got a list of movies that they're going to just continue to make. Alan Ball, he is the writer-director of a movie called American Beauty. I don't know if anybody has heard of this movie. He also did a series called 6 Feet Under. When he was asked by Amazon.com that the writing, it feels so cathartic, did it come quickly? Alan Ball says this: I got into the zone and it seemed to have a life of its own, and the characters seemed so real. It was like channeling. Peter Sellers, the guy who played Pink Panther, here's what he says about acting. It's rather like being a medium and laying yourself wide open and saying, I want a character to inhabit my body. I want a spirit to take charge of me so that I can produce what I hope to produce. Robin Williams told Us magazine when they asked him, how are you such a brilliant actor? This is what his response was. Yeah, literally, it's like possession. All of a sudden you're in and you get this energy that just starts going. But there's also that thing, it is possession. In the olden days, you would have been burned for it, but there's something empowering about it. I mean, it is a place where you are totally, it is a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, where you can really become this other force. Director Taylor Hackford says this about Keanu Reeves from The Devil's Advocate. Keanu is a very complex guy with lots of demons in him. I was trying to tap in and utilize that. In fact, Keanu Reeves has come out and said that his acting is like taking demon rides. And he's actually been very open about that. Director Anisco Holland from Total Eclipse says this about Leonardo DiCaprio. Leo is like a medium. He opens his mind and body to receive messages coming from another person's life. Director Baz Luhrmann from Romeo and Juliet says, with Leo, you might see 30 people come out of him in a day. Johnny Depp says, I know I have demons. I'm 30 different people sometimes.
And also, I love the script. I love the whole idea of selling your soul to the devil. I'm kind of like, it's very intriguing to me.
I mean, have any of you seen any of these movies that these people are in? No. Awesome. These are very popular, famous actors and actresses saying these things in the real world. This is Jack Black at the MTV Music Awards.
Previous winners of Best Rock Video are some of the most exciting acts of all time. Green Day, Linkin Park, and of course, Aerosmith.
Yeah. Now listen, since we're giving a rock award tonight, who wants to pray to the devil with me? Who's in with me? Come on, hey, let me see those horns. Let me see those horns! Metal! 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 All right. Now take the hand of the person next to you. Come on, Leighton. Dear Dark Lord Satan.
I'm going to pause it. I can't even show you this because I believe in the power of prayer. I don't even want you guys to hear a prayer to Satan. But I want you to know, look at all these people in the audience. They're all into this. And I don't want to say that, you know, oh, there's not good people out there, there's not bad people out there. But these are the very popular movies and people. And if they're so willing to invite spirits into their lives, what kind of messages are they sending to us? What kind of messages are coming through the movies? And like we talked about yesterday, we are here to vindicate the character of God. Are we not? That is our purpose. We're still here because we, as a church, have not been able to perfectly reproduce Christ's character inside of the church so that the end will come. What does that mean? Why is there such a fight against our characters? We need to step away from these things that are just constantly putting out there evil thoughts, evil characters, and things that don't build up the soul. Rather, tear it down.